I am Madhu Raman, and I head the automation solutions business at AWS. Customers worldwide on AWS embrace automation through solutions across 28 industries. And to automate, companies are doing two things. They're either removing manual steps from repetitive business processes and associated tasks, of course, or they're optimizing multi-step workflows. To do this, they are deploying both traditional digital worker bots as well as emerging automation, which is the agentic automation, which we'll hear a lot more about, and on this discussion. And one of the things to really note here is the reason we're having this discussion is that Kognitos is a leader in the agentic automation space. And I'm delighted that Binny Gill is CEO of Kognitos is actually joining us for this discussion. Can you say more about yourself and Kognitos, please, Binny?
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure, Madhu, to be here. I'm Binny Gill, founder and CEO of Kognitos, an agentic automation platform built to have no hallucinations. Prior to Kognitos, I was CTO at Nutanix, where we worked very closely with AWS, where we pioneered hyperconverged enterprise cloud infrastructure. And my background, I moved to the US about 25 years ago during the dot-com era, which frankly changed everything. Today, AI is rewriting almost all rules of that dot-com era. And the new stack is based on English as code. English is how now we are governing AI, we are governing machines, programming, and we are governing humans alike. And it's a pleasure to be working so closely with AWS Automation Solutions in empowering everyone to automate with AI.
Thank you again, Binny, for that introduction. So, Binny, why now? Why do you think agentic automation is becoming so popular with customers now? Can you say more?
Yeah, so agentic automation is becoming popular because when people are doing right, and some of people are doing it right, others are noticing. And the folks that are doing it right are delivering exponential productivity gains to themselves. And there is a feeling that I don't want to be left out. If there is my competition who's moving much faster, I want to do the same and not be left behind, because there's this the difference with AI right now is it's exponentially becoming better every few months. When we look at the innovations that are coming out of, all the models that AWS is providing and the services. Now, if you are lagging behind, it'll only be worse. So therefore, everybody wants to jump on to the idea of let me use AI. But you know what? People are realizing that not all agentic AI is equal. The more trustworthy the AI solution is, Madhu, the more value you can get out of it. And trust comes from two things. One is AI, is it does it say what it is going to do? And does it do it? And the other one is, can you verify after the fact that what it did and why? So if you have these two ingredients, then you can build trust with AI. Most of our customers that are leveraging Cognitos are in the finance, accounting, healthcare, legal settings where the cost of hallucination can be very high. So therefore, trust is extremely important. And in complex automation scenarios, what we need and what we realized is you can get rid of hallucinations if you have a neurosymbolic platform like what we have built at Cognitos. That neurosymbolic brain understands English as if it was code and deterministically follows it, giving trust back to our customers.
So, what we find, thank you again for that, Binny. And one of the things, I chat with customers, especially the C-suite, and one of the things we find from an automation perspective, specific to automation, right, and what is being run on AWS, we find that customers are looking for 20 to 60% cost reduction and 50% plus operational effectiveness increase. What are you seeing with your deployments, like with Cognitos?
Yeah, so we encourage our customers to think bigger, frankly. Um, Platforms like Cognitus should deliver, and we are delivering ROI within 3 months for our customers. It's about picking the right use case and marrying it with the right technology. So I'll give you some examples, right? So um, one of our customers, Global 2000 service integrator, they're using Kognitos for 7x ROI in cash application around SAP. That's one use case. A global logistics company where you're looking at hundreds and thousands of bill of ladings and seaway bills coming in, they are seeing 98% automation. Why? Because the technology for document understanding has become so much better very recently. Last 6 months has been exhilarating there. um, there's a telecom customer that we have as another example, Fortune 200. They are taking actions on contracts, and that's a 23x ROI. And the list is like that. Fortune 50 beverage company using Cognitus for routing and resolving service tickets, saving millions. So that was a 10x ROI compared to doing it otherwise, which was still with some automation, but legacy automation. So it's all about knowing what use cases, knowing the strength of AI, marrying it together with good guidance from experts, whether it be from AWS, whether it be from Cognitos, that we can bring and educate customers. We land small, showcase ROI, and then expand organically from there. And one thing, Madhu, is beautiful with AI is that the same platform, unlike other technologies, same platform gets better and better over time, because behind the scenes, right, the models are improving, the services are improving, and ROI actually shifts to increase more without any special effort from the customer side.
Thanks. So, what in your view is the futurescape for agentic automation with Kognitos on AWS and for the broader industry, Binny?
Yeah, so unlike past automation revolutions, where IT was the sort of the designated driver, where they had to drive the automation tools, because the tools have always been technical. This time around, agentic automation stands the chance to break that mold, where it truly becomes everyone's tool. So everyone in the business now would be leveraging agentic automation and doing things that they would like to do and becoming a 2x contributor, 5x contributor to their own business, right? We believe that there'll be a shift from drag and drop to English as code. Look at how traditionally companies have managed people, right? How do we manage people? Through process. And process is basically written down as an SOP or an employee handbook, or maybe a rule book, a playbook. Even sports coaches will write down things and give it to the players. We believe that is the way even AI will be managed, through process that is written down and agreed upon by the leaders of a company. This is what needs to be done. But there is one more thing about humans that we do, which is we interview people to make sure they align with our values. And that part, Madhu, is still not done. Like, we don't know how to interview AI models, because AI models can do anything that you want them to do. And that is why it's even more important that AI follow written down documents, because while humans might fill in the blanks by taking some decisions because they align fundamentally with the other humans, AI should not be allowed to just make guesses, because that's the source of biases and hallucinations. So, creating a platform where it is tied to the SOPs that have been written, if it has a question, it asks a human for guidance. That's the platform that Cognitos has built on top of AWS, and it guarantees this alignment and no hallucinations for the enterprises. And that will actually be the broader transition and create hyper automation for businesses.
Awesome, awesome. By the way, Binny, do you see a time when existing digital worker board automations, 70% of them are on premise at this point in time, that
Mhm.
they are simply transformed and replaced, like automagically, for example, by a Cognitos driven deployment? I mean, are you able to talk about any of that or?
Yeah. So what I believe that the complete transition of digital worker bots to purely agentic solutions will happen within 2 years. Today, while new automations are being built in an AI native fashion on Cognitos and other AWS automation solutions that you lead, we are also building it at Cognitos tools that will understand the current bot automation framework, and then translate that into natural language SOP, and that becomes an input into the next generation agentic automation solution. So that is already happening. Many of our customers are already migrating off of old bot architectures, especially the ones that they have found is brittle or fragile, or the business has changed so much tremendously that the ossified automation is no longer representative of what the business really wants to do. So yes, this is happening very, very fast at this point.
You use the word brittle and fragile. I do understand what you're saying there, but just for our audience, can you elaborate on what brittle implementation is and how?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, so if I say, hey, get me coffee from the shop, that's the Starbucks, down on the street. Now, if somebody goes and the one elevator isn't working, and in my program I had said elevator A, now that's not working. If it's a bot, it fails because elevator A is not working. There's an elevator B on the right, but I forgot to give the two options. If elevator A is broken, then you go to elevator B. And this is a common theme. There are so many things that can go wrong in the real world of business, but the programmer cannot think about it. And only in very rigid environments where things don't change, automations have succeeded. Otherwise, people say, hey, it's brittle. I mean, it's not brittle, but it's very narrow minded. It just does what it was told. Whereas AI, on the other hand, can be creative, but with guidance where it is doing exception handling with a human's permission and doing only the safe things. That is what makes it less brittle. So that's what we mean. Bringing in intelligent um, planning and intelligent automation along the way, so it is more nimble and tries to get the job done. At the same time, shouldn't be too creative, right? And do something you didn't want.
where are you making the most impact now? That is Cognitos as a company. Which industries? What type of use cases? Can you share some more on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, as I said, right, the use cases matter quite a lot. So we have been solving a number of complex challenges in financial services, healthcare, retail, manufacturing, and also logistics companies that are innovating with AI. So some of the success we have seen across industries where easy ROI can be done is automation in back office with ERP integrations, P2P, order to cash, record to report,
Got a report.
healthcare enrollment, invoice claim processing. These, if you see, these are meaty problems, but also these are very important to do them by the book, right? You don't want 10 different answers from your finance department 10 times you ask them. You want the same answer every time. That kind of diligent, deterministic AI is what Cognitos is bringing in. Now, if you think of the gateway into these business processes, it comes through intelligent document processing, email, Excel, all the chat interfaces. That's the gateway. And once it enters, then there is a question of, let's extract data from what's coming in, and then from that you do some business logic and update your backend ERP system. That's what we have been doing. Last 6 months has been exhilarating in this space. There are a lot of problems that now have been solved, and every 2 months we realize another class of problems is getting solved.
Great. Thank you again for investing this time with us, Binny. And I'll let you have the last word. But before that, I also want to add that there will be a virtual booth that is available on the Automation Fest site for Cognitos, where some of your material, which will provide more information and related information, is available. Over to you, Binny, for your conclusion here.
Yeah, thank you, Madhu. Thank you for this time, and also thanks for people viewing this session. The world of AI is accelerating, and we take it upon ourselves to partner with AWS and bring the power of AI to our joint customers. Cognitus is delighted to partner with AWS Automation Solutions here and bring trusted AI to customers worldwide. The power of AI is expanding every month, and the gap between what has been invented and what has been implemented is growing. So it is through these partnerships and careful discussion with customers that we're bringing in AI in a safe manner. So delighted to be here and happy to be helping anybody who wants to bring in AI in their business.
Thank you.